Here I am again with another round of insights from my higher being, inner being, however that works. I'm figuring out. I've been hearing on YouTube, and really resonates with me, just how we shouldn't be afraid of money, right? Afraid of the flow of money, afraid of, the absence of it. It's just afraid of it. Being afraid of it causes the absence, right? So I can't remember the name of the YouTube channel, but they were talking, and they've spoken several times about how likening being at a restaurant and putting in an order just as our relationship with money. We don't doubt that when we put it in order, we'll get what we have ordered. And so that the essence is that we need to speak like we know it's coming, and even command it. And that hasn't quite, it sounds good, but when you say command, I don't know, at least for me, it feels like there's a part of effort in it, and how would I say it? Effort and something it's just not ease and flow, right? It's just trying to do something that goes against the grain somewhat. It's not in the natural order of things, perhaps. And that could be just me. As I was thinking about it more this morning, I think for me, it just boils all down to its energy. Money is energy. It's an energetic aspect of abundance. Wealth, abundance, they're just synonyms pretty much for each other. And money is just a chip off of that energy spectrum. It's just a way that we interpret a form of abundance. And yes, our birthright, so to speak, as source energy here in this physical form, our natural state is abundant. It is flow. It's definitely not effort. Definitely not resistance. It's definitely not negative, right? If we think about who we are, where we've come from, what our purpose is here, if it's to expand, it's to learn to grow, to learn to create, to manipulate energy, to shape energy. I don't know, manipulate kind of sounds negative too. But it's energy. We're all energy. Work with energy. Work with it. That's probably better. I like that. There's just some words that just don't strike me as positive words. And that can be just my perspective. Because words are just words, right? And the universe doesn't really communicate using words, but maybe more thoughts, feelings. So, as I've thought about this it all boils down to energy. It's the vibrational output with which we do things, with which we expect things, with which it's just energy. As someone said recently, it's not what you do, but the energy with which you do it. And so I would say that with money, it's just how you feel about it. It's a feeling. It's an acceptance. So You don't really need to command it necessarily, just expect it. Just acknowledge it in a very feeling sort of way, of deep down root baseline kind of feeling that abundance is your natural state. Money is a part of abundance. It's your natural state. So it's that reprogramming aspect of our subconscious, right? And how does that happen? It doesn't happen all at once. It happens with constant feedback, with constant focus, attention. Yeah, there are ways to do it faster, impact it better. I think for me, what's worked well has been visualization and bringing to the forefront a feeling surrounding a visualization. The house I'm in right now, the location, it's right on a beautiful lake. It's not perfect, but it's what we wanted. It's what I wanted. Every night, pretty much every night, while it was being built, we weren't sure how we were going to get into it, but I would visualize and feel how it was to wake up in my bed and look out the window and see the lake. I would walk down the hallways. I would go up and down the stairs. I would look around and see our pictures on the walls. And I would practice just feeling good, relaxed, like it was just ours. And what can I say? It happened. Things all came together. They came together in a miraculous way. We were able to sell the house we were in before. We were able to use part of that money to pay down this house. We had a piece of land that wasn't selling and it was going into foreclosure because the loan was coming due. And right as things were reaching that point where it was getting awkward with the bank and so on, a buyer came through. It was lower than we wanted. We said, no, our price is this. And they accepted and we sold it. It was a cash offer. So the money came through right away. We got that off our plate and ba-doop, here we are. Enough money came in with the sale of our home that and there's a lien on our home because we've leveraged our home to buy one of our businesses. So the bank let us put some money into, most of it, into this home. But then there was a chunk that was left over. And we were able to finesse it to prepay the mortgage for the first 6 months. So that's given us some breathing space to keep working with our two businesses and figure out the next steps. So here we are. Miracles, right? And we're told, like Abraham says, miracles are they're natural. They should be expected. So I've certainly seen them. I've certainly seen them in my life. Things that just shouldn't have happened, just happened. Things came together, people came out of nowhere, situations, circumstances. It's just, it's a miracle. My life's been full of miracles. So it's been a bit frustrating for me or I've allowed myself to be frustrated because I wanted to move faster. I wanted to accept things faster. I wanted to command kind of money to come, for it to come immediately, and for me to just have a bank account full of what I needed, what I wanted, what I could use. And I wanted to just believe, just turn my heart totally around and just believe, just totally trust the universe. But it's not possible. Hasn't been possible for me, and I think it would have to be something like a near-death experience to just totally rip you apart and put you back together. So I haven't been intrepid enough to wish for a near-death experience because it seems like they always come with a lot of other stuff as well. So, but I can see shifting, and I can see that it is gone in spurts, that I've done some wonderful shifting during August. It's just been marvelous. But there's still a ways to go. I can feel it, I can see it, and the counsel that comes to me as I walk, ponder, talk, as I've come to realize this past month, that that's the time when I can really open up and recognize that my inner being is just dispensing some wisdom and counsel. And it's beyond what my brain might consider or think about. And so that's why I just recognize it as my inner being just giving me counsel. And the last few days has been mostly just relax, just allow it, be patient with yourself, recognize the beautiful things that have happened, expect more of them, expect as much as you can, your subconscious will allow you to expect. Don't fight it. Just keep chalking up the experiences and witnessing to your subconscious the ways in which you can trust, and thereby gradually reprogram your belief system. So it's just kind of a gradual thing, and hopefully at some point there'll be a breakthrough and I just go, yeah, whatever, we're okay. I say that all the time on a completely conscious level, but then on the inside I can feel there's still some resistance there. So I think I just back up and just go, you know what, I'm just gonna let it play out. I'll focus on the things that I need to focus, or I feel I need to focus on today, that are beneficial for me to focus on today, and just try to relax. Just relax. Just let it go. You know, I've explained in previous videos about Harry Potter. My daughter's, now that she's grown up, she wanted to, and at work, someone was playing the books, audiobooks, while they were all working together. So she wanted to watch the movies again. And I've really enjoyed watching them. There are a lot of holes, as I would term them, of things that logically don't make sense, or, you know, whatever. It's a young adult story, right? It's a youthful story, youth story for youth. So if there are errors, miscalculations, inconsistencies, whatever, I obviously enjoy it, or I wouldn't be watching them. And while I'm watching them, I am pretty much totally absorbed. I see some of the inconsistencies and I go, oh, come on. But it's not a big deal. And it teaches me that that my subconscious doesn't know the difference. And it also, I've taken a lot of scenes from the movie that have really impacted me, like the Bogarts. Like, there are so many Bogarts in my life, and I need to just make them into something fun and just trust that they're going to work themselves out. The scene where the Goblet of Fire, where the fake Mad-Eye Moody is telling Harry how to deal with the dragons. He was telling him he's a great flyer and he should use his broom, and Harry said, but we're not allowed a broom. And Mad-Eye Moody says, Harry, you're allowed a wand. So Harry was limiting himself, putting himself in a box, and Mad-Eye Moody, or the fake Mad-Eye Moody, was trying to allow him to expand that, saying, look, you have a wand. You can do whatever you want with that wand. So, anyway, I see lots of parallels, and I've enjoyed it, and I keep working at continuing to visualize and feel into creating new memories for myself, memories of just having a wonderful time with my businesses and being abundant and having 401ks that I'm not worried about, and that bless the lives of my employees, health plans for my employees, and just fun, just having fun. So, make good memories.